Hello, Vault Dwellers and Wastelanders. My name is Kyle, and I will be your overseer for today's episode of Vault Broadcast, our Fallout talk show, interview show, wonderful place to meet creators all across the Fallout space. We love to talk to prop makers, cosplayers, modders, storytellers, podcasters, all the rest. If you know any creatives from around the Fallout space that would like to be interviewed on the show or that you'd like to see interviewed here, please leave a comment below. If it's you or someone you want to recommend, we'd love to do it. Today's episode, we are going to talk to Kelly Greeny. She is from Germany, does wonderful cosplay, styled as Nick Valentine, and has a history of doing some Star Wars cosplay as well, noticing a lot of that crossover in this space. And I myself am a good old Star Wars lover, so buckle in. That's going to be a fun interview in just a moment. I do want to say, if you're enjoying Vault Broadcast and the works we're putting out on YouTube, on soon to be on Twitch, but on all your favorite podcast apps, we would love your support in growing this show. If you have the ability to do a financial contribution, I'm going to flash up a coffee link here below, but ko-fi.com/overseer Kyle. We have some beautiful tiers set up, and the reason I'm asking you this is that we're looking to spread out into an actual studio space. There's a gorgeous office in town, and I am hoping to raise enough money to be able to afford the monthly rent there, because our goal is to expand out into sending zines out to our fans and friends. We are looking to host in-person Fallout TTRPG sessions there. And I've got this wonderful kit of gear and setup behind me, but I'm doing this in a basement after all, and it's not always soundproofed or treated, so enough with the begging and the shouting out that way. If you're not someone that can help us financially, though, feel no pressure to do that. But if you would like to help in other cheap or free ways, it would be sharing these episodes out through word of mouth. Let your friends know, especially if you know any of these creators that we are having on the show. If you're a friend of Kelly's or anyone you've seen here before, make sure to amplify that episode. Give them some love, because my goal is to create a reciprocity here. We want this to be a two-way street where I'm having these people on because I love hearing about deep aspects, the deep cuts of the Fallout space and fandom, but we want them to excel, I'm making words. We want them to excel and succeed. That's what succel means. So if you're enjoying any of these, please feel free to do a financial contribution or share it out with friends. They both just mean the world to us. But I'm not going to blather anymore. I do want to just say, check the description below. There are going to be links to Kelly's content. There'll be links to all of our content, including our TTRPG actual play series on the Tales from Tomorrow channel. We also are getting a call-in line. It's already set up for this show that you can just leave a 5-minute voice message, and that, if I get a future schedule set up where I can tell you who the guests are going to be in advance, it'd be a great way for you all to leave questions for our guests. But don't worry, if you're watching it, after the fact and you want to call in, leave a message, that's perfectly fine too. My goal is to have some of these folks come by on a recurring basis. They're just wonderful guests, but I'm blathering. Enjoy the rest of the show. I will pass it to you. Future Kyle, set us up. Hello, everybody. We are sitting down today with the great cosplayer, Kelly Greeny, as she goes by, and today she is dressed up as Nick Valentine for us. Kelly, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet with us. You're based in Germany, is that right? So this is evening for you.
Yeah, it's still, the sun is still out, but yeah, it's I guess 7 p.m. at the moment.
We are just shortly after lunchtime here, so a pretty good. I think we have near an 8-hour time difference, something like that, off the top of my head. Maybe it's a little less. But we're here today to talk about your experience with cosplaying, how you got into it, how you got settled on doing a Nick Valentine look. You were involved with a booth that does Fallout cosplay, including a power armor set and more. We're going to show some pictures up on the screen as we go throughout. So thank you for coming by Vault Broadcast today. Why don't we start off, when you had submitted yourself for the show, there was a mention that you had gotten into Fallout through the TTRPG first. How did that experience go for you, and what drew you to the Fallout TTRPG?
That was a funny thing. We had a little so RPG con, so really small one, and I met someone. And first I started with him with a Star Wars 1 year, and the next year he was like, "This time not Star Wars, this time Fallout. Are you in again?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? Let's test it out." And it was the time when the TV show was out. And I was like talking about the TV show and really making me like want to watch it. And we played a TTRPG. I even found my little sheet.
So cool.
Which we got there.
That's awesome.
And I played a ghoul, female ghoul with a sniper. And I remembered I killed the bad guy. A bit too harsh, but I killed him.
Rock
with a lot
on.
of luck.
That's what you got to do in the Wasteland, right? For people out at home, that sheet appears to be from the official Fallout TTRPG rules. That is a very familiar sheet to myself. A lot of people here probably know we host some games of our own over on the Tales from Tomorrow channel. So I am exceptionally over the top excited that was your experience. That's what got you into Fallout. So it was a circumstance that you had gone to this TTRPG convention previously. I think you said Star Wars. Then later when the Fallout TV show had come out, they wanted to do this game that I just held up. Is that right, my understanding?
Yes, so they introduced me. The Dungeon Master was like first Star Wars, and then he asked me to do Fallout. Then they talk about the TV show, and then my boyfriend started to play Fallout 4 on his PS4, and just gave me the controller and said, "Here, you can also play a bit." And that was like falling everything together.
Of course. So I'm going to make an educated guess here that your introduction to Fallout 4 on the PS4, that's how maybe Nick Valentine came about. I'd like to hear a bit about this because by the sounds of this, you are a fairly new Fallout player. I consider myself to be a bit of one too. I've maybe played for 5 years on and off. So I guess I'm becoming a veteran, but I'm still rather new, green, if we will. So how was your experience in finding Nick Valentine in the game? What drew you to his character that you wanted to take all the time, energy, and skill to physically embody Nick in person and here on camera?
was funny. So the first, I don't know anything about the game. I just got the controller and said play it, and like it was really old, and it was like every spoiler was through, but I have no idea. And walked there and met Nick and was like, "What are you?" And really fresh. I was really fresh into the game, and then travel with him because it's like, oh, the camera. And he's like really nice guy. And beforehand, I have Preston, and I like Nick's quips more, like this sarcastic tone and just making fun of me, getting scraps and so on. And then he started explaining his backstory, and it was like, oh, I want to hug this guy. He needs it. And I really feel with him and was like, maybe I can cosplay him. But on the other hand, I don't want to cosplay him because of all the things to do. But when this thing is in your mind, you start thinking how I can do things. And I was like, okay, what I have at home? I have the pants, I have the shirt, I have the shoes. Tie maybe from a friend, and it was like that. He has a lot of ties, and he was like, yeah, you can have this one. And I was like, cool. And then I only need the hat, the coat, and the makeup, and the hand.
As I talk to more cosplayers through this show, And I've listened to other cosplayers on podcasts over the years. What I've gathered from the skill and talent you guys have, you just addressed it. It's this part of your brain that starts saying, what do I have? How can I make this into a reality? And I've really noticed that a lot of these costumes start off very kind of, I don't want to, maybe I do want to say low budget. People are using what they have on hand. And then as you go through and find different ways you can improve it, make it better, make it a little, match the show or the games a little bit better, it seems that's when people start scaling up their builds. So might I ask, Kelly, what piece of what you're wearing right now was maybe one of the hardest to build? And maybe none of them were hard per se, but like which one took the most alterations, I think would be the word. Edits, changes.
Yeah, I guess that the hand was the most complicated one. It's like, that's the second one. I have also my first here, which is like almost falling apart. That was my first approach. Wasn't happy with it.
Clearly been used and loved.
And yeah, and the second one is bit more sturdy and looked more like a synth hand.
Could you hold that one up a little bit more for us in the center of the camera, Kelly? That one's, oh, wow. Wow, that is looking great.
Also falling apart, but it's really like this part here.
That's cool.
The middle part.
Oh, that's neat. The creativity of cosplayers just blows me away. Can I ask, with your specific character you're embodying right now, is this piece of cosplay easy to get around conventions, of course, or any sort of, even just traveling there? Is it easy to travel that one? The guys who are wearing the huge power armor, that has to be a whole other logistics game and getting from point A to point B. How easy do you find the Nick attire to be at conventions and such?
It is really comfortable to wear. It's really nice. It's like, shouldn't be too hot, but I choose a coat which don't have an inlay, so it's also not too big, so not too warm. And only the makeup. I have a really hard time eating.
Aha, and the makeup is really great. Now, I'm seeing you have what looks like yellow eyes going on there with that. I don't know if that's just the camera. Is that colored contacts you have in?
That's contacts, yeah.
How are those? I've often heard those are uncomfortable. I'm a guy that wears my glasses on my face. I'm not a contact guy. I don't like touching my eyeball. But so how are those for you? Are they difficult to wear? Do they get tiring, or are you used to all of that by now?
I need to say I started with contacts in cosplay. So my first cosplay had contacts, and it was like, it took forever to get them in, but then it was okay. Then I had the time where I couldn't wear it, where always went something wrong. Something goes under the contact lenses and scrubbing, and I need to pull them out very early. But what I found out now with Nick, I guess before Nick, I started to wear like day lenses. I always have month lenses before, and they are really comfortable, these day lenses. And so I get back into wearing contacts, and these for Nick are year lenses, so they're much more sturdy. And for me, it's like when I put them in, it's like a bit hurting. A friend of mine said that shouldn't be like it, but it's always, I react to the water and the liquid where they're stored in. I react a bit, but after, I guess, 5 to 10 minutes, it's completely gone, and I can take them the whole day without feeling much of it.
What I've noticed from cosplayers is there is a real unspoken physical dedication to doing this, aside from the hours and hours of crafting it to make it look good. That's why I was very interested in the question of how comfortable this attire is, because being at an event, if you're there for, I don't know, 3 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, sometimes much more, that can the attire can have a physical wearing on the person, whether it's contact lenses or, again, back to the power armor. Some people have just bulky armor that's hard to move their arms, legs. And so I'm always very interested. I think there's a lot of people out there who will really appreciate that advice, Kelly, regarding the contacts themselves. So you also, I might be going a little out of order here in our questions, but I want to talk about that gorgeous sign that's behind you, because the Valentine Detective Agency looks great. And yes, it is lit up. It is looking wonderful today. And you made that yourself. So I was wondering, maybe you could tell us just a bit about the creation process for that sign. I believe I even saw a video somewhere. It's on your Instagram. I might be able to pull some of these up. You know what? While you talk, I have to sign into Instagram. They signed me out. So you tell us a little about the creation of it, and I'm going to work on trying to pull it up on the side for us.
So the first thing I did, I've tried to find out a really nice picture of it. So really from front, I guess I found it on the wiki page. Then I printed out in the size. So I found out that you can print out bigger pictures and glue them together with the printer. Don't know which, you can do that at least. Don't know how I did it, but at least you can do that. Then I looked if the size is good as I want to have it. And then I put it on a sheet of foam and just cut it. And I make one layer, which is like the heart, the frame, and these wirings, and then the letters. And then I make a second layer, which was just a frame, the heart, and the layers without inlay. Exactly. That's the paper cut.
And we'll go through your story here just a bit. Oh yeah, please feel free to narrate these. I will click through them now that you can see them up there on the screen.
That's the first layer. So yeah, I cut it out piece by piece, every day a bit. I guess there is something in there which shouldn't supposed to be in there, and doesn't matter. I cut and cut and cut. It took forever. And I make them all by hand, the cuts. So I try to get it a bit flat, sand it a lot. And yeah, that's the first try to hang it. Oh yeah, then it comes a lot of numbers. So the numbers, the letters, the heart, the second layer, where it's spread out where the LED is supposed to be in there. And the same with the letters later.
I see you've also done a great job of kind of you've left a lot of great comments on these stories too, talking about the process, which I think that's lovely. I think anytime creatives can document the process, I've even heard from some other cosplayers that it's proved to be helpful for them to do this, because years later, when they forget how they did it the first time, or they forget a skill they applied once in the past, someone was recently saying how that's very beneficial to be able to go back and look over the steps, sometimes even just seeing what exact, I guess, brands of glue and supplies, paints, etc. that they've used. So I think this is really an awesome story piece that you've highlighted up here.
Yeah, and to say, I also now a bit in cosplay competitions since this year, and for cosplay competitions, I'm not in the crafting competition yet, but for them, I know you need to record your steps, because they need to know that you made the cosplay, because there was some incidents where people bought them and don't tell the judges that they were bought and they won, and that was not like a crafting contest to be. So it should be self-made. I I'm now more in the performance contest to get this stage experience, because I'm really bit bad now, because I'm still very nervous when I'm on stage.
Definitely. I mean, that is a nerve-wracking experience for sure. And I'm really glad you called that out about why you and others record the process. That's not something I had thought of as an outsider to it. Yeah, of course, I'm not a crafter myself for this, and so I guess I wouldn't have thought about that. People buying their attire and using it, and I guess it also makes me wonder. I don't know if you'd have any thoughts on this, but it makes me wonder how the 3D printing has affected that sort of stuff too, because as I see it, a lot of people 3D print pieces of their costume, and they put a lot of time into polishing it and sanding it down, making it look great. But I'd also wonder how judges see some of that stuff, considering that sometimes people are buying those prints from other creators, and so there's still people are putting some of their labor, their love into it, but it also comes from a sort of a standardized place. Have you had any experience with 3D printing stuff yourself, or others that do in that way?
So I 3D printed a lot of stuff. So the example I have here, little.
Cool. It opens? Is that what it's? Wow.
Yeah, you can open it. I have also a small one, maybe this one. This is better.
Oh, wow. Neat. Oh, that's cool.
This was
That
3D
looks
printed by a friend. I just painted, and I have my pipe revolvers.
Love that. Oh, that looks so good, Kelly.
The funny thing is, I printed it 100%, and it comes out like this.
That one's a little bit smaller, huh?
You see the size difference.
Yeah. Those look so great, though. Wow. The amount of time people spend on this, the amount of love and dedication just really shows through. I think those are great props right there. I'm going to flip us back to this story to a little. If I don't know if you want to comment more. We're about halfway through it though now. I'll at least let some more of it play for the people at home so they can see a bit of this. And I guess this is a reminder for anyone listening to our podcast. We have a version of this up on YouTube, and I encourage you to see the visual side. Kelly showed up today fully decked out in Nick Valentine garb. So if you're an audio listener, this might be your chance to go over to YouTube and do the extra step, watch along. But be sure, also, we're going to say this at the end, be sure to go over to Kelly's Instagram and give this a follow. We'll certainly have that in the description, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, or something else. It'll be there. But this is just great. This looks like the painting phase of it, maybe a little bit.
Painting phase, yes.
Giving it rust, I see.
Yeah. Rust is so nice to see. And there comes the LEDs. It's just an LED chain which I used for the whole thing.
It seems like by your comment, it was maybe a long process. The caption here says almost done with the LEDs.
Yeah, I need to wire it and need to pull it through the holes. And the longer the LED chain was, the longer it took to pull everything through. And yeah, that was the whole thing. Later I thought, damn it, I could use another technique. There is like LED wires, like things that LED, which looks like real neon signs, but when you look for neon signs, you won't find it. You find it in car stuff. Oh. It's for putting LED lights into cars. And they have really flexible tube, and you can I could have used that, but I make the LED way. But I can also show something.
Sure.
Don't have the thing yet, but it wasn't yeah, now.
Oh, it's multicolored, huh? So you can choose the color to meet your mood.
Those it comes with a switch, but I have the
That one's fun.
also
I like the last one you had on there. I know it's not lore appropriate, but that other one that turns them all into
Wait, I have also,
multicolors.
I guess, a Christmas one somewhere.
Yeah,
Where's the Christmas one?
it's multi-purpose. It goes from being Fallout prop to Christmas decoration in no time.
Yes. With the switch, it's easier. Just I have here just one little switch on the thing.
For sure. I'm very impressed by this. That is a really neat sign. You did a great job on that, Kelly.
That's also fine.
Oh yeah, now it's doing a little like twinkling, blinking up there, huh? Oh, that's cute. That's lovely. I enjoy that a lot. I'll move you back over here for a second because we're almost done. Actually, that's your own caption here. Almost done. I need to get some LED blank and hot glue and chain to the back. Wow, this is definitely a work.
Yeah, don't look at the back of this thing. Don't look at the back. The back is horrible. But the front is fine.
That is the right of all prop makers to say that. Anyone who's designed sets or costumes or anything of that caliber can say, just don't look at the back. Everything looks pretty in the front. That's where all the energy is. Keep your eyes on the front, but don't move back the curtain. Don't look behind it because that's where we hide our little undone parts to it. This is just great, Kelly. Can I ask?
It's just a video.
If you know, how long did this sign take you to create this project?
I guess around 3 months. Don't know. I don't take time directly, but every evening I make one letter, cutting out, and yeah, every day I worked a bit until it was finished.
That's just great. I mean, it is a real labor of love. It is definitely something to be proud of there. And you're probably one of the few people in the world that has anything like that. I can't say I've seen another Nick Valentine, Valentine Detective Agency sign before. So that is really neat. It's a true Kelly product there.
Yes.
You've got some other really cool stories too. It looks like one over here, these highlights about the Nick Valentine trench coat. Maybe we could scoot through this one as well.
Yeah.
If there's anything you want to really call out in this, is a great time to narrate some of that. A holotape, I see.
I also have the that was the first approach of the hand, but I also have the little. What is Nick without a holotape?
That one looks really nice. You got the colors spot on for it. So we were just talking about 3D printing. Another day, another failed print. Yeah, that happens, huh?
Yeah, sometimes like that. And to your previous question with 3D printing and what it makes with the cosplay community, it's like it's starting with doing. You can do your own patterns, but you also can buy patterns. So depending on how much effort you do in the cosplay, you more points you would get in the crafting competition. Of course, you more goes into self-made, the more points you get, but you can buy your patterns. It's not a problem. You can alter them, and that's all the creative process is counting. Some are not good in pattern making, so they buy patterns, but they're good in foam work, so they make foam work from scratch, but there's also patterns for foam. And the same is with 3D. Some can 3D create with Blender and stuff, and others just take, like me, the files and printed them. and then assemble them, glue them, sand them, paint them. It's also still a lot of work. So.
Yeah, I don't think by any means that just printing it means that that it's less work per se. There's a lot that goes from taking it from well, we're just gonna look back to the failed print for a second, but there's a lot of work that takes it from this to the polished, pretty painted version that you showed us on screen a moment ago.
Yeah.
And then, is this Nick Valentine's hand then? This is what you were just showing us maybe on screen a little bit ago?
Yeah, that was the failed approach. That was this one. I assembled the fingers, 3D printed. Thought I was intelligent, but it wasn't working so good as I hoped it would.
Well, since we're being very nerdy and talking about all things with prop creation and the rest, was there something in particular, Kelly, that didn't work on that one that you sort of iterated, made better for the version 2?
Yeah, the version 2 is completely foam because I thought, okay, I couldn't find anything which got close to what I wanted, and I'm not a Blender person, so this was out of the question. Yeah, it was pretty nice, the steps. But then I was like, okay, I do it with foam, so I can do it like the real thing, the real synth thing. And I was like, okay, I do it like this. Yeah, that was the code.
Sorry for the crappy work in progress, it says. There, yep. I don't know. Can't even say that it's not crappy to us outsiders who are looking at it saying, wow, like, I mean, serious energy and effort goes into this. I can't stress enough to people at home. As a guy who doesn't cosplay himself, I'm just always impressed by the attention to detail. And again, the time that people sink into this, like you said, approximately 3 months or so on the sign. And oh, I love this. You're watching the Dungeons and Dragons movie while adding patches. That's great. That's lovely.
I really like the back one. I really like the back of this code. I needed to make it my own because this code hasn't the back, and the other code I had a straight back, not these shape. I don't know how to call this shape.
Something a V shape or something.
So I need, yes, it's like a curve.
Oh, maybe we can see it here.
Yeah, that's the back.
Oh,
yeah.
Is this what we're talking about right here? Maybe, I don't know if it's showing the cursor on screen, but
exactly.
Time
and
to weather
I needed
a
to
bit.
add. Yeah, I just thought I can light weather it, so it was a bit of UV light from sun. Still try to get a bit sunburned here and there.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah, tell us maybe a little bit about that. So you used sun, just putting it. Did you just
try to use sun?
Okay.
It didn't work that well. It was like, there's the black one. Yeah, didn't work that well. It's still black.
Sure.
I had to hope that it gets more. It was in the game, but yeah, I hope that over the time it will fade a bit and look like Wastelandy.
Absolutely, I get what you're going for there, and that's maybe one of the advantages to the genre we're in now is that the more beat up it gets, the more appropriate it looks. Unlike, well, you've got some. This looks like Star Wars over here, maybe. Is this Star Wars props? So that's great because I've noticed there's a big crossover between cosplayers who do Fallout and Star Wars.
Yes.
I was just saying to someone else that it feels like that's almost an advantage us Fallout fans have, is where in Star Wars you want all of your stuff to be very sleek and clean, unless you're doing a battle weathered look. But stormtroopers and the rest often are spotless on screen. Whereas us Fallout fans, the more dirt you rub on it, the more it weathers in the sun, the better, the more appropriate it looks to the wasteland.
Yeah, I always make the joke with when they get some dirt on the colos, it's like, it's weathering. It's not dirt, it's weathering.
That's fantastic. I love that. So, Kelly, this gets me to a question that's maybe a little bit removed from props, but maybe a little focused on you as a German Fallout cosplayer. How is it for you, someone outside of the United States, sort of playing this very US centric game? We recently had another podcaster on from Canada. He creates audio dramas on Spotify and the rest. And so he's taken sort of liberty for himself to do Canada the Fallout way. It's not really elaborated too much in the storyline, so he gets a really big canvas to work upon. So I'm curious whether it's you individually or other German Fallout players you've talked to, is there any sort of I guess fan stories or ideas of Germany within the Fallout universe? I'd be very curious to know how that crossover kind of works.
Well, it's really hard to tell. I don't know if there's any, but it's also hard to tell because Fallout let Europe pretty open, so you only know it's more messed up than the US because it was messed up before the war already.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like, I guess what it was like, a lot of more problems. They had less resources and they fight even harder than war was. And yeah, it's not much to know. But also, then you have a lot of things you can do. I really liked the project of this big mod, this Fallout London.
Yes.
Also sounded very interesting. The first thing where someone thought, okay, let us do a Fallout playing in Europe. That is also very interesting. And London is not far away from us, to be honest. Not so far away.
We were thinking along the same lines there. I certainly had Fallout London in my mind when I asked that question because I don't know how many people have their own sort of regional stories, but now I'm very interested. So I'm going to throw it out there to the audience. If anyone out there, if you're from outside the United States and you have some sort of, I guess, Fallout fan made story for your country, leave a comment below or get in touch with us somehow because I think that's really neat. I'll just give one last little anecdote, Kelly, that I saw someone do a beautiful CGI rendering of China within the Fallout space. I believe this person probably they use some really high-end 3D software and do it, and they've got some other great ones out there like a Pip-Boy video and Nuka Quantum. But they recently, just in the last couple months, did what you could see. It would be like the opener to one of the Fallout games where it sort of zooms out. You hear the radio playing, but it's set in China. This 30-second video, and I just think that's really cool. People taking their own culture and sort of overlaying it. And so I had to ask that question about German cosplayers because I don't get to interact with that scene very often. So I appreciate that kind of insight to it. Now I'm going back through and scrolling through a couple more pictures here as well. Oh, that one went by too fast. Oh, these are cute. Some caps with hearts. Looks like the pipe pistol coming together.
That's the pipe pistol, yes. That's the progress of the pipe pistol. But the thing is, with the caps, I give them out on cons. And the last time I did it, I put 5 Sunset Sarsaparilla stars in the back. And when someone draws a star, they get a little, I couldn't find them. I have one Nuka Cola bottle left off. I printed some new ones. Printed some.
Oh, cute.
Clear.
That's very
not
cute.
colored yet, so I give them out. So everyone who draws a star gets a little Nuka Cola keychain. And
That
I
is
was
so
going right
creative.
with it. And when someone draws it, and everyone was like, "Oh no, why are you getting it? Why not me?" And they kept going like crazy.
Oh, that's adorable though. I love that you've gamified even that process of it. That's really fun. I got to imagine that makes it really fun for people to come up to you and maybe that's the question I want to ask. How is that to have that kind of interaction? I know you were saying you're nervous on stage, but do you find it to be very energetic and like exciting when people come up and they know who you are as Nick and they go in and they're pulling out these caps? That seems like a very fun and very personal experience.
Oh yes, I have a lot of stories, but the thing was, when I did this cosplay, I was really, really nervous because the whole makeup and the cosplay, and I was like, I make now a little side character of a game again. No one will notice me. And I was with a friend there. She has one of her most worked on cosplays, which takes her a lot of time, and people recognizing me the whole time. And it was like, I was really sorry for her. So I was like, oh, I'm so, they didn't know that would happen. I expected no one will recognize me. And how I said, I was nervous. I was, And then we go to the train station. We need to drive 2 stations from the hotel to the convention center. And on the train station directly, there was a group, I guess it was Vox Machina. And they're like, oh, that's Fallout. I was like, okay, crazy. And then this goes the whole day on and get a lot of compliments for my cosplay. And this was like really, really good feeling for me. It was like, I didn't have that before. Here and there was like, oh, I know this character, you're looking good, let's make a photo together. And it was it. But Nick was like, really crazy. Someone came to me and was like, Detective Nick Valentine, my favorite character. Do you want to make a photo? This was really cute.
That is really cute.
The last time, from my last convention, there was a girl who was like circling me the whole time, and her friend nudging her the whole time. And then a friend of me nudged me and said, I guess this girl wants to make a photo with you. And I was like, she was looking at her, she looked at me and was like really like, so, can I take a photo with you? I was like, sure. She was so starstruck. She loved Nick Valentine. I was like, so like, oh my God, there's someone cosplaying it. And I was like feeling like a celebrity at that point. It was crazy.
That's so cool to hear. I love that. I love that people are giving good attention to the work again that goes in, because I've got to imagine as a cosplayer that it takes, well, you said 3 months on one sign. So I can just imagine that, over your lifetime of creating these props and pieces of your attire, that there's so many hours, so many days that go into creating this that people do not see, aside from what you put on social media, of course. But so many of the people at the convention, they just see what you're wearing now. They have little to no context of how much sort of blood, sweat, and tears goes into it. And it's really cool to hear people resonate with it, that people like it. They're coming up to you, they're giving you those accolades, those just happy emotions of seeing their characters brought to life. That's got to be just a really fun circle to complete between them, the viewer who's just showing up and having fun, and you, someone who's put all that time into it. It feels like the right reward for all the time you've spent.
Yeah, it's just like, Nick is not my most complicated cosplay, but he's the most recognized one. It's a bit sad for the cosplays that make put really hard work in it, and they're not getting like the same recognition as Nick. That's a bit sad sometimes.
Maybe we could take a moment and
Nick
look through. We could look through some of your other pictures here as well. Maybe you could tell us like which one maybe you put a lot of time into, any on here that really
Echo
stand out?
definitely
I'm sorry, I
the
didn't hear
one
that.
with
Could
the
you say
helmet. The helmet was
this one?
really, really difficult. So it was expensive. That for first one. I bought it on Etsy. It was so stupid. I had to pay a lot of taxes and so on to get it here. And then I need to sand it and color it.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It was, and I was like, okay, I have now 2 months till the Comic-Con and I want to wear this cosplay. Let's do this.
Wow, the arm attachment looks great. That's cool,
Yeah, and
Kelly. Wow.
I want to do a motor in it, but this has not yet happened.
So it could like spin at the tip, I'm guessing.
Thrill, yeah.
That would
Yes.
be just such a neat element to add.
Yeah, and I still need the breastplate. This is something I still bit procrastinate with it because it will be a lot of work. But you see him in the show also without the breastplate, so that you see the nice little vest, which also was a lot of work. So this cosplay is really from head to toe self-made. It's my first one
Wow.
where everything was made by hand.
I like your caption. I died in this costume that day because it was so hot outside.
It was so hot.
That is something I think about a lot for cosplayers is how hot the attire is. Especially we were just talking with someone who's going out to like the New Vegas locations out there in the deserts, and whew, couldn't be me. I'll admit, you guys,
And
I
then
don't
having
have
these
it in me.
ranger coats, he's just wearing these thick ranger coats with the helmet.
Yeah,
Dying.
absolutely. That is, I mean, again, I just really stress that there is a physical endurance people have to do cosplay. Oh, this looks cool. A video. Let's see. Is this you activating the sign,
Yeah, I
maybe?
messed up the pacing a bit. It's a bit slow at the beginning.
Oh, that's great. No, well,
And what I
you got all
tried
your
there,
attire on today if you want to try remaking it. Just saying, you're already ready to go.
yeah, the thing was I tried there to have a UV light, and I hoped my contact lenses are UV contact lenses. I hoped they were glowing a bit in the UV light, but they don't. I was a bit sad about that.
That would be really cool. That would, wow, that would be just awesome next level. This looks great too. Oh,
But here I
wow.
need to say this is sport.
Sure.
This is
Glad
the
for
whole
cause.
thing is sport.
Well, you're looking stunning in it. It's a really cool kit. Very, very cool. So,
That was also that was my mom.
did you start then? I mean, I guess you've maybe already told us this. Did you start more as a Star Wars fan? And that's, again, how you got introduced to Fallout along the way. So you were doing
Yeah,
Star Wars cosplay for how long have you been doing that, Kelly?
I guess since now Star Wars, I get in the 2020 around. I binge watched the whole show and then was like, I want to cosplay it. And yeah, then I start an adventure. I'm still a bit mad about a friend who said, cosplay will never be accepted by the 501st. And I was like, challenge accepted. but
Absolutely.
there is the thing with Star Wars is it's pretty I have the feeling Fallout is more familiar, so it's more like a big family, and you coming together and meet. And with Star Wars, it's like they're so big, they have their own groups and a bit of gatekeeping with their groups. And this is a bit bullshit. I don't like that kind of feeling. That's what I like more with Fallout. It's like open and really come all together. Let us enjoy the media and yeah. I was part of a sign.
I love that. That's great. I'm going to leave that up here for a second. I hear you, what you're saying about the gatekeeping aspect of it. To your point, maybe it has really something to do with Fallout being a bit more recent of a phenomena, like as a franchise. Of course, the old games, which I haven't even played, the old ones, those have their own sort of cult fandom. But then, especially with things like Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout, the TV series, that's all really bringing a lot of new energy to it. And I am one of those people that I really welcome that sort of change. I like when lore in a story can be very concise. I like when the studios themselves don't make it harder for fans, but I'm also not a guy who poo-poos any changes. I'm not someone that really casts stones from the sidelines. I'm very much a type of person that live and let live. Let's enjoy this together. It's all fantasy in our heads anyway, right? Why gatekeep each other in a harsh, cruel way? So I hear what you're saying to that. And I've noticed too that a lot of the Fallout cosplayers are very new to this. I'm saying new is in the last 5 years new. I mean, considering how long Fallout has technically existed, 5 years is pretty young for the genre. But I've just noticed that more and more people are really stepping up to that. And I wonder if that has stuff to do with like the global pandemic that happened. It seems to me like a lot of people had either just started cosplaying right beforehand or maybe got a lot of time to work on their setup during lockdowns and things like that around the world. Did you?
Yeah, also worked.
Sorry, you
also
just
worked
said
a
this.
lot during Corona.
Oh, say that one more time, Kelly. I talked over you. Apologize.
I also really worked a lot on cosplay during the pandemic. It was like just time and nothing. What should I do? And then, yeah.
Absolutely locked in. I played a lot of Fallout during that window myself, so I certainly get it. And if I were a craftier man, geez, it seems just like a great time to do that. I am blown away by all of this, Kelly, and we're getting a little bit short on time today, but I think I still have some more questions maybe to get to with you. Let's see if there's any I really left off the list that we want to get in particular. We talked about Nick Valentine. We talked about the sign. Well, let's do some of these quick fire questions that are in here. I got a couple that I like to throw. You can do as long of an answer as you want for these, but they're more short-ended questions. So after experiencing the Fallout TTRPG, the TV show, Fallout 4, maybe a little New Vegas in there, which version of the Fallout universe resonates with you most? And when you answer that, I mean, that could be which thing you enjoyed watching the most, or you could even answer it, since you're a cosplayer, of which part of that universe you would like to sort of live in, if you would. Like, which ones do you embody the most to you?
I'm completely Fallout 4. I love Fallout 4. Far Harbor was like really, really nice. Like this foggy island thingy and with a lot of these. Oh, I'm a big fan of how's it called? But Acadia. But what is this? That isn't a planetarium?
I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. But I really like that one. I like looking at the stars, the whole theme around Dima and so on. That's was
Oh, yeah,
completely mine.
planetarium. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yes,
Exactly that.
that's a great answer. So here's one that I really like this question. If Nick Valentine could investigate any unsolved Fallout mystery, anything from that universe, which would you, you're Nick Valentine, so I'm asking you, which Fallout mystery might you be interested in solving?
The mysterious stranger. That's the only answer I can give.
What a great answer, too. I like that one. Kelly, that's a cool answer.
Funny,
Yeah, who is he?
funny thing about that, I make I already thought that I do cosplay performances, and I did one as Nick, and I was searching for the mysterious stranger. That was the performance.
That's awesome. Oh, I love that so much. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Ooh, well, here's one, and this doesn't have to be limited to Fallout, but we're a Fallout show, so we'll angle it a little bit this way. What would be your next dream Fallout cosplay project? And if your next project is not Fallout, you're welcome to share that too. You know me, I'm very interested in whichever way you're going next. But what's the thing you have your sights set on for creating or embodying next?
So Fallout, I want to do some OC stuff. So like maybe I still have lab code, which I can do to a vault-tec lab code, or just a normal Wastelander. On not happy with the wall suit I saw, and I don't want to do one by myself because they're really, really difficult to make when it should look good. And the other thing is I'm working on, I really like elves. So I'm working on Frieren and Marcel from the animes. So that's my next doing project, which is still waiting for me.
The life of a prop maker and a cosplayer is never done. When one project is, I've noticed this too, I guess a project is rarely actually complete. There's always a next
Yeah.
little thing to do. As you pointed out with the hand itself, some of these things break down. You find the weak points in them as you're going along and wearing it. And so I've just noticed there is a lot of redoing, perfecting, and once you learn all of the different techniques, or you talked about this with the sign, right? That once you got done, you realize, oh, there's another way to do this that might be easier. Sometimes ways that you can do it that could be more effective and more like sturdy or durable. And so that just makes me think back to the hand that we nicely see you working on screen. This is just a great picture. This is the Fallout booth, by the way. Is that right? You take part in this booth here.
Yeah, I just was able to put my sign on there, and next time we will get a little place with a little table, and if one of the people from the booth want to bring me a terminal.
Oh, wow. I gotta say,
He said you can't save anything on it, but you can write something on it and leave it there, and
we need some
fun.
Fallout prop makers out there who want to make some, I guess, like working terminals. I would love, that is just something I would love in my life, is to have some kind of semi-working terminal. It's just such a cool, iconic piece of Fallout. And I don't know, I don't see any. Rarely is there one for sale. Some people made mock-up miniatures online, but yeah, if anyone out there, if you got the skill to do a Fallout terminal, you're sitting on a gold mine, everybody. You can sell some old computer parts to the rest of us nerds, and we'd be buying that stuff up fast.
We actually got on the booth right now is a little TV. So Fallout TV, where they also can play little clips from Fallout. Unfortunately, not on the pictures. That was a bit hidden in the Fahaba booth. I don't have a picture of that. And I just was told pretty at the end of the con that this is a really working TV. And I was like, what? Cool.
Wow.
But I don't have the electricity to run it that day.
That makes sense. The posters were great here too. It looks like this is a sort of a painted sign with the Nuka girl on there.
Yes.
That is a very neat group of cosplayers. Her attire is wonderful, absolutely in the spirit of it. That is looking great. Kelly, I am so thankful you took the time out of your day to come by and hang out with us. And so this is the part, pardon me, I can't speak, I'm losing my words. This is the part of the show where I like to open it to the guests. Are there any creators out there that, or even accounts that you really admire, other people that you cosplay with that you want to give a shout out to? This is just your chance before you promote your own accounts. This is a chance for you if you want to tell us the names of any people that, again, inspire you or people you want us to talk to in the future. I always like to do these open calls that if anyone wants to submit a friend or whatever it is, they want someone to come by and chat with us. I'm growing my list of accounts that I'm following. And so great chance for you to shout out anyone that you really admire.
So would say starting off with the booth people, they're called vaults. So vaults with dots in between.
Yeah, we can pull this up too.
They're pretty new now. Yeah, there's vaults. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
That's the people.
Wow. Fantastic. That is some great stuff going on there. Dang. And then that's some nice lighting in that photo they did. You may have told me, I don't mean to cut your answer short. I'm going to go right back to it. But I want to say, did you mention this was wearable last time we were doing our little tech check?
Yes, this is a wearable power armor, and I guess he is in there in that picture.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. I mean, I've seen other power armor walk around, but it's when you see it compared to other people, size and scale, it's just
gigantic.
Great. It's just awesome. I'm logged into my dummy account right now, but I'm going to follow them back here when I get back onto my main one. This is the easiest to log into today. Oh, I'm guessing this is from the, is this from that?
Booth, yeah.
So was it, what was our little dog meat over here? Was this like a stuffed thing or is that someone's real dog dressed up?
No, it's not real. It's, I guess it isn't stuffed, but it's like a prop, which always stands there.
I had to ask because that would be next level when someone gets their dog to embody dog meat to that level. That'll be iconic. Wow. I mean, that is just such good kit here. Dang. Okay, enough of me just going on and loving all this. So Vault.
The funny thing, he was just in another podcast talking about the power armor.
Sounds like I have someone to try and get in touch with then, huh? Oh my goodness.
Be, I guess, pretty happy. I don't know how good his English is. I can't tell, but
it's just looking great. I mean, again, the dedication for you and the other cosplayers out there is just very, very clear. Oh, wow. We see you back there. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
This is looking very cool. Okay,
the funny thing is,
me.
I guess, I just one thing, I guess I inspired a lot of people to do Nick Valentine too. They saw me and was like, maybe I can do that too. And it was like, I'm here, open. I can give you advices. Just ask. The more, the merrier.
Absolutely. And it looks, by the way, you mentioned, how difficult it can be to get a nice looking jumpsuit, a vault suit. And I'm seeing some really nice detailed ones here. Of course, I think a lot of people buy very entry level ones that tend not to have very textured approaches. They're typically, I've seen them online. They look more like Halloween costumes here in the United States, very flat. They lack little parts and connectors, but I can even see over here, these guys have, you know, the elements that are trailing up the arms. They got the ribbing for the front of it. You're surrounded
They're really
by.
expensive.
Say
They're
again?
really expensive.
I bet.
I asked them. It was like €1,000 or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think it was going to be that expensive. Wow.
Yes.
They better be wearing it all the time. You better get your wear
They
out
do,
of
they
that.
do.
That's great. Kelly, I don't know if you had anyone else you wanted to shout out, but I did sort of cut you off and take you on a tangent there. So if there was anyone else aside from Vaults you wanted to shout out, that's welcome too.
Maybe
I know you've got
the person which I make photos with here, the Minuteman, which is called, I guess, the Rebel, der Rebell.
I'll have to go look for that one again here. So they're on one of these photos, was it?
I guess not. I guess it was on my photo.
Oh, your photo in this one here?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Whoops.
My
Sorry, I'm
partner
clicking the
in
wrong
this
button.
one.
Oh. Yes, yes.
He's Minuteman. Look at what he's holding in his hand.
That is fantastic.
And he can really turn it and loading it.
That is some attention to detail if I've seen any. Wow. Okay. Well, everyone's got. You do a great job of linking all these people here down the side too, I've got to say. So, folks that want to check these out, please go over. Kelly's Instagram, by the way, is Kelly Greeny Cosplay, and I'm just saying that aloud for anyone that's just not watching along or otherwise. But we'll have this all linked for you below, so you can go find Kelly's works. Kelly, if people are interested in following you here, which we strongly encourage them to do, where are you active across the internet? Clearly Instagram. Do you have any other presences that you want to shout out for people?
Mostly Instagram. That's like I'm not have the dedication to make more. It's like when I have a job, and then it's like a little hobby, and putting everything everywhere is like really much work.
I think with social media, it's better to do one platform well than have 5 platforms that you never update or something like that. So that makes it nice and easy for people. Again, we'll have Kelly's Instagram for you below. And just to say to Kelly on the way out here as we conclude the interview, you have been a wonderful guest. We would love to invite you back in the future. If you have any other cosplays that you want to show off, or maybe you're going to go to some convention or just come back from one and you really want to tell us about it, it is an open door here. You have my email. We can always easily get in touch. But just to say, this episode, it's going to come out. I'm a little backlogged right now, so it'll be a couple weeks before people see this. But I hope that they will go and like all of these photos, get involved, leave some comments there. I always stress to the audience that we're passionate people making stuff across the internet and in real life. And anytime you get the chance to help us out, sometimes it truly is as simple as just leaving one of these great comments down here. Someone says 10 out of 10 cosplayer. There's just lots of love to be seen in the comments. So share and share alike, everybody. Make sure you tell people, give them that feedback. And from the sounds of this, don't be shy about going up and saying hello at one of these conventions, because especially when it comes to Kelly, you got a whole mini game to play and you could win a cool Nuka-Cola keychain out of that. So do not be shy about taking photos or asking for those photos. It seems like a great way to make friends that you otherwise would just never have that opportunity. So Kelly, truly, thank you for coming on the show here today. And I'm going to bid you farewell. We'll get on with our days. And until next time, like I say, you're always welcome back here on Vault Broadcast. Well, everybody, that was Kelly Greeney. I'm so thankful she came by and gave us that chat today. It was just a wonderful interview. If you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you're on a podcast app, do the very same. Give it a 5-star review or a thumbs up, whatever the system is on your favorite player. If you get the chance to leave a comment here or elsewhere, please do. I do check our YouTube comments throughout the week. And if you want to see any other creators that you like shown up here, interviewed, talked about, by all means, tag them below, send them a link to these interviews so they know. And I have a link up on the website. If you go to overseerkyle.com, nice and simple, overseerkyle.com, you can find all of my productions from our Fallout TTRPG series to some Overseers logs. Those are GM diaries that I do, recapping what we've been up to. We do have a little bit of exclusive content for our paid members. And a reminder, if you're interested in supporting this show, ko-fi.com/overseerkyle will let you do one-time donations, and you can subscribe for a monthly donation. We are seriously looking at sending out nice goodie bags at the higher tier levels. Unfortunately, shipping costs an arm and a leg these days. But for our earlier tiered members, those people can get access to bonus content, especially when we're moved into the new studio. We're going to do some studio fireside chats, show people the development process. It's going to be really fun. So thank you all for your time, your energy, your dedication. Again, that like, that comment, that subscribe means the world to us. And if you do get the chance, hit that bell notification icon, because we're going to be back. We're looking to do Vault broadcasts every Tuesday and Thursday. And the idea is this show is going to grow into a live format show. We're going to have people in the chat with us, probably over on Twitch. People can sound off with questions there. And what else can I say? We're going to try and add some extra guests to it as time goes on. My idyllic dream will be me and getting one of my co-hosts in here eventually. We'll do these side-by-side interviews with our guest. And then we're going to add in some like interludes, some maybe musical breaks, some call-in segments that people do. So don't be shy. Check the description below for all the links you need. And as always, we have Bethesda Gear not gift cards, Bethesda Gear coupons. That's a better word for it. You can save 20% off using our coupon codes. And I'm going to try and flash them up here on screen if I remember. But if I don't, they're in the description below. Always the latest. They last for 1 week. They only have 10 uses. So I'm not going to try and pretend to tell you what this episodes will be. Okay, let me actually. It'll probably be like B-Tales 35, B-Tales 36. And if those don't work, try a higher number. Or just check one of the other YouTube videos. And yeah, you'll find that in the description below. Okay, everybody, that's all for today. That's enough shilling. Thank you for letting me do that. Thank you for your time and your energy. I will catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.